This is verse 26 of the 6th chapter of the Gospel of Matthew. Jesus has warned about the likelihood that we would take anxious thoughts, worrying about what we're going to eat, what we're going to wear, that sort of thing. He's indicating to us that we should not fixate on these things. They're, of course, necessary, but they shouldn't be the highest concern. That we should rather set our affections, our loyalties on higher matters. And then he makes this well-known comparison indicating that we should be a little bit more like the natural environment around us, which seems to take these principles for granted. So he says to us, emblepsata, from emblepo. Blepo means I see. Emblepo, the idea of seeing into, and out of that is the notion of considering carefully, looking at it very carefully. So look very carefully. It's accentuated even more with the preposition ace, into. So look very carefully into ta patena. Patenon is the word for a flying animal, a bird typically. Not necessarily limited to birds. It could be a bat or something like that, but it's a flying animal. This is the neuter, accusative plural. So look carefully into the birds, and then to the genitive singular masculine, urinu, of the heaven. So, or of the sky, of course, is the idea. So consider carefully these birds that are flying around. Hoti, the conjunction, here it means that. U, the negation, and then the present, third person plural, present active indicative. Speirusen, from speiro. This means to sow, as in sower going out to sow, that idea. So they neither sow, uda, nor. Theridzusen, this is the word for to reap. Theridzo, I reap, I gather, would be the idea. They neither sow nor reap, nor, again, sunagusen, from sunago, to gather together, all of these third-person plural, present active indicative. So they neither sow nor reap nor gather, ace, into apothekos. From apotheke, a word that means a barn or some kind of structure, usually for purposes of storing. A warehouse would be within the scope of this idea. This is, of course, in the plural, accusative plural. So they neither gather together, is the idea, into storehouses. Kai, and hopater, the father, humon, the second person genitive plural pronoun. So the father of you. Ho Uranios, related to Uranos, heaven, but this happens to be an adjective, so the heavenly one, we would say, the father of you, the heavenly father. Trephe, from trepho, I feed is the meaning. This is the third person singular. Present active indicative, feeds. Auta, feeds them, the neuter, accusative pronoun here, which of course goes back to birds, which was mentioned earlier, which is also neuter. So your heavenly Father feeds them. And then asking the question, uk, the negation, humes, added for emphasis, are not you. Malon, this is an adverb. It means greater than. It's superlative degree. Diapherita, from diaphero, literally means to carry through. And out of that is derived the idea of exceeding. So I carry something through, in a sense, getting ahead of others. That would be the notion. So it would mean I exceed or I surpass. And then the adverb here modifies that, greatly surpass, the idea. So do not you greatly surpass them, auto, the idea being in value. So this is the genitive plural, don't you surpass them, don't you have greater value than them, is the notion. And so Jesus is saying that if the birds that fly around don't concern themselves all that much with sowing or reaping or gathering into barns, then isn't it the case that the Father that you have in heaven is going to be even more concerned about you than them? I don't think this is a warrant for a completely irresponsible view of things in life. It's certainly a way of warning us, however, that there are higher priorities in life than what we may eat or wear. Those things may be important, but there are other things that greatly exceed them in importance, and that's where Jesus wants us to focus our time and energy.